Hey folks, the Metaverse. So I shot this video, I edited this video, I watched this video, and then I realized it's pretty confusing. But it's confusing not in a way that can be repaired by reshooting, re-editing, or rewriting the video because the concepts are so unformed at this point. So be patient when you're watching this, please, and realize that the Metaverse is coming, it's real, and it's going to create parallel economies that you need to be involved with. Anyway, relax, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Go ahead and check out all the companies that are involved in the VR, AR, and Metaverse space. You can take a look in the description, and there's a list of both public and non-public companies. Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Jason, Certified Financial Planner and host of Fighting Words Financial. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Metaverse, which definitely falls under thematic type investing, right? I'm talking something like, themes like genomic revolution, next generation internet, robotics, or what have you. This is definitely one of those themes. Now, ARK Invest talked about this in a little bit in their 2021 Big Ideas podcast, but they really didn't go into detail. And I wanted to explore this topic a little bit further. Now, I'm certainly not one of the world's most foremost experts in this topic, and I definitely called in some help from the folks in my Patreon group, and one gentleman in particular has helped me prepare all of this information today. And so I wanted to really just give him a shout out on the channel and let you guys know that yes, I do have a Patreon. It's in the link below. It's a really great group of smart investors who can help take your portfolio to your knowledge to that next level. All right. Anyway, so let's dive into this. And I wanted to start off by quoting a Forbes article, or really just paraphrasing a Forbes article, just to kind of set the stage here for the rest of this video. So imagine that you're walking down the street and suddenly you think of a product that you need. And immediately next to you, a vending machine appears, a virtual one, of course, filled with the product and all the different variations that you were thinking of. You stop, you pick up an item from the machine, it's shipped to your house, and then you continue on your way, right? So you're interacting in the real world, but also in this virtual space, right? So next, imagine that a husband and a wife, and the husband goes to the store, but the wife can't remember the name of the type of product that she needs. So her brain-computer interface device recognizes it for her and transmits the link to her husband's device, along with the list of stores and all the aisles that it's located in. So welcome to the Metaverse, folks. Alternate digital realities where people work, play, and socialize. You can call it the Metaverse, the Mirror World, the AR Cloud, the Magicverse, or Spatial Internet, or even just live maps. But one thing is certain, it's coming and it's a big deal. Now, I paraphrased that from an article in Forbes that came out a few years ago, and it really caught my attention. So I decided to look a little bit deeper into the sector, and I realized just how much disruption is really unfolding right before our very eyes. Holographic brain surgery, the U.S. Army utilizing augmented reality technologies for military night vision goggles, 3D virtual concerts, 3D home walkthroughs, digital real estate, the iPhone Measure app that uses a camera to measure dimensions. Holograms now have always been something, of a bit of science fiction that you'd see in movies like Avatar, Iron Man, Prometheus, or Black Panther, or something like that. However, it appears that this fictional hologram that we always viewed as maybe impossible or pretty far off into the future is becoming a reality at this point. An augmented reality, or an augmented virtual reality, that is, that exceeds the, what's happening in video games at this time. And that's really what I'm here to talk about today. Like I mentioned before, folks, many of you have probably read ARK Invest's 2021 Big Ideas report, where they mentioned the Metaverse in passing, but they didn't really go into the types of companies that are involved in this, the types of industries that could be impacted by the overall disruption that this newly found space is actually bringing about. ARK's team primarily focuses on the video game industry and its monetization, but the real opportunity, I feel, in this space lies outside of video game monetization. These three new innovations, augmented reality, virtual reality, and the Metaverse, can really be incorporated by most companies that we know and think of today, and really each and every individual's life in some aspect. So what is virtual reality? By true definition, virtual reality is the use of computer technology to create some sort of simulated environment. Imagine it like this. This is where you put on the actual headsets that go over your eyes that separate you from the reality that you and I normally interact in, and bring you into a completely different world. It's a little bit different from augmented reality, which is augmenting the current world that we all exist in. So, two of the most popular augmented reality examples are Pokemon Go and Snapchat. This is where you're looking at a 2D screen. However, you're seeing a 3D hologram placed on your device. A great example of augmented reality is NFL football games. Many folks are surprised to hear that the yellow lines that you see on your screen in many cases on the football field aren't really there. Additionally, in fields like brain surgery, augmented reality can be used to digitally and visually show where certain features of the brain are located in any human's head without having to make any surgical incisions. So what is the metaverse? The metaverse, by definition, is a collective of virtual shared space created by the convergence of visually enhanced physical reality and physically persistent visual space. A few of the most prominent examples today are things like Decentraland, which is built on the Ethereum network, Facebook Horizon, and VR Chat. Some also might remember a video game called Second Life that was launched in 2003. Some of the companies that are likely to come to mind when you think about this metaverse space are companies like Facebook's Oculus, Snapchat, Pokemon Go, which was probably the most successful AR video game of all time, which, by the way, was made through Unity software platform. Unity is a company that trades publicly. You might be thinking about Fortnite and their virtual concert experiences, or even something like Dwight Schrute and, from The Office and his Second Life virtual world video game. However, this space actually goes a lot deeper than that. Think about all the different ways that you could possibly commercialize this through corporate settings, social gatherings, things like bars, restaurants, schools, medical and surgical procedures, therapy, golfing, or any type of other sport. And these opportunities are really kind of endless at this point. And with that being said, how do we know that we're on the forefront of this revolution right now, of this disruption? And I think that a lot of people don't realize that we're really sort of on the precipice here. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to this scholarly article that I'm going to quote right now. And it's about augmented reality and how it's going to make surgery safer and more efficient. As written in the article, it states that an augmented reality system provides the surgeon with computer-processed imaging data in real time via dedicated hardware and software. The projection of AR is made possible by using displays, projectors, cameras, trackers, and or other specialized equipment. The most basic method is to superimpose a CG image on real-world imagery captured by the camera and displaying the combination of those two on a computer, tablet PC, or video projector. In case it is impossible to mount a video projector in the operating room, a portable video projection device has been designed. The main advantage of the augmented reality system is that the surgeon is not forced to look away from the surgical site as opposed to the most common visualization techniques. So look, folks, we're on the edge of something really big here, and I'm not going to pretend like I know how everything is going to shake out. So what I wanted to do with the rest of this video is talk about a bunch of companies that are involved in either the virtual reality or augmented reality space, talk a little bit about how they are involved, and sort of turn you guys loose and let you do your own due diligence to understand this space better. And as time goes on and we get a little bit more clarity as far as what direction this metaverse is going, I'll do more videos and get a little bit more specific. So here it goes. Right now, let's talk about the 5 biggest VR companies. So the 5 biggest companies right now that are involved in the virtual reality space are all technology mainstays that you folks have heard of before. And starting at number 1, that is Samsung, Google, Microsoft, Sony, and Intel. It should be noted, however, that Samsung, although they do have the best-selling virtual reality headset out there, it's actually powered by the Oculus technology that's owned by Facebook. If you recall, way back in 2014, Facebook acquired Oculus in a deal that was worth about $2 billion, which in a lot of ways was the deal that sort of re-sparked interest in virtual reality and the augmented reality space. Samsung's headset retails for about $129.99, and if you compare it to the Oculus Quest 2 or the Oculus Rift S at $299, it's a pretty good deal. Google also has a large share of the current VR market by devices sold, not by revenue. They offer a cardboard device that allows you to view things. It's like a virtual reality viewer, and you can buy that for anywhere between $8 and $40. So way back in the 1990s, I was an early investor in virtual reality technologies. At the time, there was a lot of press and a lot of articles that were written that sort of pumped this as the next best thing in technology, and I bought it. I fully admit that. And I made investments in several companies, and by 2001, every single one of those companies had either been acquired for pennies on the dollar or they had failed outright. And this sort of mirrored my experience later on with being a super early investor in 3D printing technologies. So, look, on the surface of things, it always appeared that virtual reality was going to be the next greatest thing and the technology that really took us to that next level of integration between the human experience and, the computer world. Now, though, it appears like that's not really the case. It's augmented reality that's really going to be that doorway into that future human integration with technology. Look, augmented reality is coming, and it's likely coming sooner than you think. And it's potentially going to change the way we live life for each and every one of us for every single day. There are already newfound augmented realities such as, Earth2.io, and someone in my Patreon group brought this up because it relates to the concept also that's very popular right now, which is the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens. Earth2.io aims to bring people and technologies together by creating a robust location-based game platform and technologies platform which supports strong virtual communities and strong virtual economies. Earth2 is going to be a place that's going to be all about bringing people and virtual representations of places together. So I got a lot of really great ideas from an article that was pointed out to me by someone in my Patreon group, and it's titled 39 Ways That AR Can Change the World. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description, but I'm going to quote a few things from that article just to sort of set you guys off on the path to discovering this on your own. So imagine supervisors walking the floor of any business with a fighter pilot style display in front of their eyes. Supervisors can read performance data instantly to help employees with difficult issues or identify employees that are falling behind. This augmented reality pinpoints problems and issues in real time and shows supervisors where to devote time and effort to have the best outcomes and to be effective. Another thing that's going to be possible with augmented reality is you're going to be able to virtually map your space and only view products that are going to fill that space, which is going to save time and frustration. So augmented reality is finally going to end the debate of what size TV to buy and if the couch is going to fit through your door. These augmented reality principles are already being proven for those with sensory impairments, partially sighted people, and it's helping them to see using high contrast versions of what's in front of them, making edges more visible and making it easier for them to navigate their space. Augmented reality is going to make hazardous jobs safer. You're going to have the ability to expose workers to potentially hazardous environments from the safety of a classroom with the option to repeat those lessons as often as necessary. And this is going to demonstrate the value of augmented reality training and all that it can provide over traditional practices. Now, folks, there are only a couple of different augmented reality technology products available to the public, and I'm talking wearable technology that you can put over your eyes and kind of interact and have a 3D experience in the real world. And the product that I'm thinking of is Snapchat Spectacles, which, by the way, for me, that was a tongue twister, and I had to redo this section like 5 times. So Snapchat Spectacles are tangible, real glasses that bring that 3D experience into the real world for you while you're actually living it. The current product, Spectacles 3, retails for about $380 and comes in either tan or black. I'm going to leave a link to a description and a review of the Snapchat Spectacles in the description here so you guys can look at it yourself. I don't know who this YouTuber was. I just happen to enjoy the review. These glasses can integrate filters into your vision just like you see on your phone through Snapchat. Like hard sparks bouncing across infrastructure or give everyone dog faces or whatever it is that you want to do. But the issue with the hardware currently is that it requires you to interact with your Snapchat application on your smartphone in order to make changes, which shows that this is a technology that is still in the development stage. And I'm looking for this to get more interesting, easier to use, and more streamlined in the future. All right, folks, so I know that this is a harder video to grasp or even understand, or it may seem like a jumbled mess at this point, but really it shouldn't make a ton of sense at this point because the metaverse is still, it's like an evolving ecosystem. We're not really going to understand everything that's involved with the metaverse until it gets close to its final form. I think the biggest question right now, out of many, many questions, is whether or not this is going to end up being a centralized or decentralized platform. I know that just based on my personality, I would prefer that it's a decentralized platform. Unfortunately, we don't always get what we want. I hope, though, that it is clear that the metaverse is going to be here at some point, and it's going to be a big deal. It's going to take a while to develop, and it's not going to be understood for quite some time. But here's why it's really going to happen. This metaverse is going to be a new economy that spans both the virtual and the real world, and I think that's the most important point. It's going to be a brand new economy. Now I'm going to paraphrase another article here, and I'm going to say that the metaverse is going to be a persistent and synchronized live living universe that's going to provide each of us a sense of presence and agency where we participate in an extensive economy that transcends individual experiences and perhaps even the physical and digital world. If you folks haven't heard of a concept called Decentraland, I'm also going to leave a link to Decentraland.org in the description below, and this is something that's really fascinating. It's a decentralized native currency that's built on Ethereum's blockchain network that represents a virtual world video game. You're a character in the game and you interact with other players in real time. You can interact through working together to build the game further and make more content, or you can use the game to profit through flipping items in real world currency or game currency, which is called Mana, the Decentraland token. The key to this here, and why this is really a separate reality and a separate economy that spans both normal reality and this virtual reality, is that the metaverse is always on, and it's going to be experienced live and in real time, and it can host any size audience. It's going to have this fully functioning economy, and it's going to span across multiple platforms as well as digital and physical realms. Think augmented reality, virtual reality, and like reality. It's going to allow digital assets to be carried across platforms. Users are going to go across platforms, and content is going to be created by individuals and huge corporations alike. Take a look at something like the Roblox gaming platform, which has 120 million users and huge ambitions when it comes to the metaverse, and offers a similar list of descriptors. It's immersive, persistent, vast, and diverse, and it enables each user to have a core identity across multiple experiences. It has a social network component, and enables seamless access from any device, and has its own economy and is governed by rules and order that are determined by its users. The metaverse really has the potential to become the next great labor platform, giving individuals diversity of opportunity through access to high-value virtual economies. New creators are going to have the chance to build a large following on this virgin platform, much like YouTube was back in 2005, 2006, 2007. Furthermore, these new companies or individuals are going to need to create and manage similar new technologies. This includes new payment processing, new identification, new security, and delivery of technologies, among other things. This is really a revolution in the making, folks. The problem is it's really hard to determine how to get ahead of this and how to ride this wave, right? How to invest in this. And I'm going to be exploring more and more of these ideas of how to invest in this as we go along. So as a final note here, folks, according to ARK Invest's Big Ideas 2021 report, where they really didn't go into as great a detail as I would have liked, ARK Invest did state that they believe that video games could become a sort of third place away from work and may increase the value of this industry from $130 billion a year to about $350 billion a year by 2025, with virtual worlds being valued at close to $400 billion by 2025. And the augmented reality market growing from about $1 billion a year today to roughly $130 billion in 2030. So I think it's pretty clear, folks, that there is a giant opportunity here. It's actually just kind of hard to define. So, folks, I realize that this video is a little bit less disorganized than the ones I normally make. That can really be laid at my feet here. The research that I got from the folks in my Patreon group is absolutely excellent. I just got very excited while I was making this and all the different possibilities and really sort of a new economy that's sort of developing under our feet right now. But that is all I have for today. Thanks again. This is Jason from Fighting Words Financial. Comment below on what companies that you think are going to be involved in this space or are going to dominate, or you think that there's some companies that I left out. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like and you subscribe. If you didn't like this video, please let me know what you didn't like about it, and I'll improve on the next one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.